Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Order no, order no, order no. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With shit in your Gobi, it's order no revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What is up, guys? We have an amazing interview for you guys today. We got the guys from SatGo. It is a phenomenal app that I've downloaded through my iOS phone, and it's been awesome. I get notifications about King of the Hill, but these guys have been building a lot more than this. This is just one of the projects that is under the Sats Republic umbrella, and we want to get into everything that they're doing. I'm excited for this one. Been looking forward to this since I reached out to them, and I was like, hey, I want to get you guys on the show. Really cool. And if you haven't downloaded their app, I highly recommend you guys do so. It is phenomenal. But without further ado, let's get the show started. Bring in my partner here, as always, Mr. Iago B. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? What's going on?
What's up, man? So we both downloaded this wallet. We've been messing with it. Or not, it's not a wallet. I think it's just kind of like a market. Yeah, it is a wallet marketplace. Yeah, for sure. App. Yeah.
You can send Bitcoin and stuff, but like I didn't know that you were getting King of the Hill episode updates though.
No.
Maybe
no.
you want to explain
cool
what that's about.
Well, that's the best part. It's like you kind of know who's winning the mint race. What is the hottest mint?
So that's the King of the Hill is basically like what's hot.
Exactly. It was really cool. It was my first time seeing it, and I didn't even think of it. It was the show, so that's what kind of got me there. But it was really cool because we used to play that game back in the day as kids. You gotta like hit the other person. Maybe it was a Philly game. I don't know. You gotta hit. There's someone standing on a hill. You gotta try to knock them down and take the hill. So, but yeah, man. So what do you think about this app so far?
Yeah, I downloaded it as well. The first thing that I thought was I was pretty amazed of the UI. You know, the data just flows very seamlessly. You get everything up front. So far with the SatGo app, you know, I do need to dig a little bit deeper, but I like everything I see. You know, there's especially in our space, whenever you create an app, I think the biggest importance is making it user friendly, you know, convenient for the user. Because if you don't do that, you kind of go against the whole point of creating an app, right? So I like what I see so far.
100%. Yeah, so let's get this started. Let's bring in NFT Supply. What's up, man? Welcome to Ordinal Revolution.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me.
Yep.
Thank you, man. Can't wait to dig into SatGo, but kind of want to learn about you first, right? So if you can kind of take us back maybe before your crypto journey and kind of lead us up to everything you've done in crypto so far.
Sheesh. It's a long journey. Yeah, so by trade, I have been a software engineer for 15 years. Got really deep into the mobile app development space when I first started getting into software engineering. That led me to first working in crypto. I ended up consulting, working at BitGo, building internal mobile tooling there back in 2017, living in Palo Alto for a little bit. And then after that, eventually, you know, went down the rabbit hole, started obviously buying a ton of altcoins and trading, and then eventually got into NFTs. And then NFTs, you know, obviously led me eventually to Ordinals and to where we are now, building everything we've been building at Sat Republic. Aside from that, was working in Web2, building Web2 platforms for a bunch of very non-crypto industries.
How is that transition for you? You know, we've talked to a couple of different people that have had success in Web2 and then, you know, thought they could just kind of take their skill set over to Web3 and kind of found out, okay, this is a different world. But what was it like for you?
So it's interesting, actually, because building a mobile app, I think, is actually very similar in Web 2 versus Web 3. The quality of people and the type of people that you're interacting with, I would say, is far different. I would say that in the Web 2 world, it's very difficult to get people to have meetings and have phone calls, and like everyone doesn't want to share their calendar, and there's a lot of gatekeeping and stuff like that. Whereas in the Web 3 world, rather, almost said Web 2, the Web 3 world is so different. You know, you meet everyone in person, or you don't, you just slide into DMs on Twitter, you add them on Telegram, you send them a Calendly link or something like that. And within, you know, a day, you have a meeting and you're actually productive and you're, you know, cooking with gas. So I would say that is one of the nicest things that I have found about working in Web3 is it's very informal, and like at points, you know, obviously if you tune into a Twitter space, it seems super unprofessional, but there's almost like something so professional about the unprofessionalism, because at least in Web3, people respond to their messages very quickly, right? Like there's no following up and circling back on email. It's just like you send a message on Telegram, you know, or you just hop on a Twitter space or something. So I would say that has been the biggest game changer, I would say, working in Web3 versus Web2.
Yeah. And when you say that, man, I think instantly of it's probably because of the stage of the industries, right? You were working in Web2 after Web2 had been around forever, and these giant conglomerates and they're really ruling the space. But when you come over to Web3, this industry is trying to break out. So I see that as well, because I've been in both, but not as a software engineer, more of as a marketer. But I agree with you. It's definitely more willing to work together here and network.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. It's like, even like there's friendly competition within our space. It's like everyone is still going to the same conferences together. Everyone is like still friends IRL. It's like you may troll each other on the timeline, but like for the most part, everyone's boys, you know?
100%.
Yeah, man. All right, so you basically you start digging in altcoins. The bear market was rough for a lot of people. But then, you know, some light, you know, at the end of the tunnel there was Ordinals. Ordinals came out in January of 2023. A lot of people really didn't start picking it up till February. But you tell us your Ordinal journey a little bit.
Yeah, so the Ordinal journey has been a really fun one. So I guess Casey came out with Ordinals in January 2023. I saw them on the timeline maybe the last week of January, first week of February. And at that time, Bitcoin punks were starting to mint. And, you know, the way that it worked is you had to inscribe them yourself. And unless you were running your own Bitcoin node, you weren't able to do this. But OrdinalsBot had created, you know, OrdinalsBot at the time, the first ever inscription platform, which was a super easy tool to allow you to, you know, just drag and drop images, or not was, still is. They're very much still around. An easy to use tool to just drag and drop your images and inscribe. So what I ended up having to do, because OrdinalsBot ended up going down at the time, me and a buddy of mine ended up whipping together our own very small but functional version of OrdinalsBot that would just allow us to hopefully mint our Bitcoin punk. But unfortunately, by the time the transaction confirmed and when we got it all working, it was like 30 minutes after they minted out. So the Bitcoin punk we minted is like inscription 36,000 something, but never actually made it into the official collection itself. But what was really cool about that is that we ended up accidentally inscribing cursed inscription at -46, so sub 50, which is kind of cool. Totally by accident, obviously. But yeah, so like that journey led to essentially I started what did I start doing? I started creating articles and trying to like bring my ETH community friends that I was like deep in the trenches trading NFTs and altcoins and stuff with the Ordinals. So I would like, you know, write these articles on Mirror and post them and, you know, try to like teach myself by like, you know, writing down all the information and also like hopefully teach others. Went down the rabbit hole of rare sats very deeply. And that was the thing that stood out to me most, because to your point, the bear market was rough for a lot of people, and you kind of have to like sit back and think, why was it so rough? Like what went wrong with my bets? And ultimately what it comes down to is like you bet on the wrong team, right? Or just like attention disappears and there's a lot of downside risk in terms of like maybe you're buying art and the artist's art was really good, but maybe they said something dumb on the timeline, which made the floor price like absolutely nuke or something like that. But the neat thing about rare sats was that there was very little downside risk in my head because they just had to exist. They just had to be mined and they just had to be part of, you know, historic transactions like a block 9450, which is from the first transaction when Satoshi sent 50 Bitcoin to Hal 50, to Hal Finney. That really resonated with me. One thing led to another. One of my friends who I used to trade a ton of NFTs and shitcoins with, my co-founder Sir Yield a lot, went down the rare sat rabbit hole with me. And we ended up teaming up with Rare Sat Society at the time and building SatScribe. And the reason why we ended up building SatScribe is because OrdinalsBot didn't offer rare sats. And we were going down this RareSat rabbit hole and wanted to inscribe our collections on RareSats, and also wanted to give people an easy to use tool to acquire RareSats, because at this time, Magic Eden wasn't letting you sell RareSats. Magisat didn't exist at the time. The only people that were, getting RareSats to the public, as opposed to just like sat hunting, were us and like Danny D. Kroger, who had a website that was kind of like an OTC desk. So we made RareSats really accessible. Did really well on that. Eventually, we ended up sunsetting that last year. But what was really neat about that is that we used ourselves as a guinea pig. So we came out with Pizza Artifacts, which is the historical first ordinal collection inscribed on PizzaSats, because we were looking through, all these different types of RareSats, and we were like, oh my gosh, how is there like no collection on PizzaSats, let alone on PizzaSats? What about like pizzas on pizza? So we came out with 222 pizzas on PizzaSats. And that has turned into our OG community that we've been really just like bringing along on our journey for everything that we've built in this space. And that led to us acquiring a RareSat and selling the first RareSat at Sotheby's for $130,000. Following that, we ended up curating sat hunting at Sotheby's along with people like Quarry from Magisat. And really trying to bring RareSats to the masses, which was a really dope experience. And then after that, obviously like runes became the talk of the town, and we kind of shifted our attention temporarily to runes. So we were kind of sitting here and thinking, what was the next thing we were going to build for the space, because we knew that we weren't done yet. We just weren't really exactly sure where to go. So in this moment, my life comes full circle, and I'm just like, you know what? There is no mobile app for this place, and I just keep going to, web browsers. Like, you download Xverse, you open up the browser in Xverse, and then if you wanted to, like, do anything, you have to go to a bunch of different websites within the browser, just like you would have to do on Phantom or have to do in MetaMask. Phantom had done a really good job, though, of kind of like making it not really feel like you're actually in a web interface, which till this day, I think they've done a fantastic job doing. And Xverse is a fantastic wallet. It was just that like the experience for like buying runes on like the mobile Magic Eden website through there, it was annoying the same exact way that it was annoying to do it with MetaMask, So we're like, okay, we're going to create a mobile app. But before we do that, we have to go to market really quickly because runes are like coming out just around the corner. And at this time period, Casey, the founder of Ordinals and the founder of Runes, was regularly updating the GitHub for Runes, and there was no documentation or anything. So like every single day, every time you push something new, we're like going down the GitHub to teach ourselves what. So we ended up creating what we knew would be like a great way to kind of just get people in to Runes really quickly, which is a Telegram bot. So we ended up creating Runevo, which was the first Telegram bot that allowed you to mint runes, buy RareSats, and check your portfolio, and do some power user things as well, like split your UTXOs right at the halving. So that was out April 19th, April 20th. I forget which day the halving was exactly, but it was live day one of the halving, and whipped that together really quickly. And then we also came out with a pre-runes ordinal called Runevo. And the Runevo and the Pizza Artifacts all come back together into SatGo. So Runes market, as everyone knows, took a massive dip after the halving. Everyone got burned on 3,000 to 5,000 sat per V-bytes. So it was in that moment where we're like, okay, you know what? This is the time builders build when you're in a bear, and that's exactly what we started doing. So after raising money from the community with the pre-runes ordinals from Runevo, as well as raising from a bunch of awesome people within the community, we ended up coming out with SatGo, which is the first native mobile app for minting runes, buying runes, selling runes, buying RareSats, selling RareSats, portfolio tracking, exploring the mempool, seeing what's trending in mints, seeing what's the king of the hill, like you said, just like your full-blown mobile experience for everything Bitcoin. To your point in the beginning of your intro, it is a wallet. It just doesn't feel like it. And we're not really. and we're not really advertising it as a Bitcoin wallet. Because like a wallet has different connotations, I think, to a mobile experience. This is your everything Bitcoin app. You know, you want to dive into runes, awesome. You can do it right here. You want to dive into rare sats, great. Want to send Bitcoin back and forth to people, no problem. We are rolling out ordinal support eventually, pretty soon. We're just trying to make sure that the runes experience is truly flawless before doing that. But yeah, that's been the journey. It's been a hell of a year and a half.
Yeah, you're right though. Like if I use Xverse, I have to click the mobile and then go to their website. If I use MetaMask, it's pretty much the same thing. Using your site, and that's why I got confused in the beginning and didn't call it a wallet, because I get right into the marketplace, and the wallet's kind of secondary, and that's why I had to like double check myself. But yeah, when I first went in, I had to create a new wallet, write down my words, and then I was eligible to kind of jump right into your marketplace, and that right there is amazing user experience because you're just in it like right away.
That's where the whole that doesn't change from like Web 2 to Web 3, you know, like a user experience and the way like a user flows through an app, like that's all the same. Like if you notice it, a lot of the inspiration honestly came from the App Store. Just seeing how like people like shop and collect things because that's what you're doing. And yeah, like I was saying, like, you know, Xverse as a wallet is a fantastic wallet. The Magic Eden wallet is also a fantastic wallet, but like I think that they're focused on different things, you know, like obviously like Xverse allows you to do in-app swaps with DotSwap, but it still feels like a wallet. It kind of feels like runes are secondary. It feels like rare sats are secondary in there. And Magic Eden is like fantastic for cross-train stuff, you know, and, you know, there's really nothing bad I could say about Magic Eden. They've been a fantastic infrastructure partner for us and given us a ton of access to integrating with their APIs that they don't really give to many other companies. Like you won't see really any other companies, I think, besides like us and Xverse that actually have fully integrated buying runes. But yeah, that's it's been interesting to kind of see how people have been interacting on mobile when it comes to trading crypto. And, you know, myself as a power user, I've been like, okay, how do we make this experience significantly better? And one of the things that we ended up doing, which I think was really strategic of us, was that we did a soft launch on the App Store at Bitcoin Amsterdam about a month ago. So what we were doing there is we were in Amsterdam, we were at the Ordinal Spot booth and at the Magisat booth. And we were just like talking to fellow Bitcoiners that we knew for sure were in the runes and the rare sat space. Got people downloading the app, sent them $50 in Bitcoin just to try it out, connect on Telegram, send me feedback, and really just polish it up from there until we were ready to like go to market, which, you know, as you've seen now, the app is, you know, pretty polished up now. Obviously there's always more work to do, but that there's a lot of work that goes into creating a very easy to use user experience. And that doesn't change from Web 2 to Web 3.
Yeah. I agree 100% there. And I love the fact that, and probably your Web 2 experience helped with this, but you guys focused on the user experience first and foremost, you can tell. And I think that's where crypto gets it wrong and has gotten it wrong for so long. And probably a lot of that has to do with, you know, crappy regulation. And so they were just focused on the tech and like what to be the best and stuff like that. But really to onboard the masses, you need something like this. That's like someone that's used to, you know, using regular Web 2 apps and saying, oh, okay, this is, you know, a little bit different, but not too crazily different to where I got to, you know, pop open a new browser and then go to another site and then connect my wallet to that and everything. So I think you guys did a great job there. I have a question for you because I'm a collector at heart, because that's kind of my family is in that line of business, tangible collectibles, right? So like cards, jerseys, shoes, whatever. So the rare sats really kind of close to my heart. You know, the hype for that was pretty big, and you guys were a part of that, right? You just explained, but it's faded off a bit, right? I believe, you know, having experience in the collectibles market, that once there's kind of like, you know, people making money left and right, and then that's whenever the collectors market will come back. What do you think? What do you think will bring back rare sats and early inscriptions and stuff like that, if you think they'll even come back?
I mean, nothing brings attention to a space like number go up, right? I mean, like we're seeing that right now with runes, all of a sudden Bitcoin hits them. No one was talking about Bitcoin hitting all-time highs like, 72, 73, 80. No one really cared. People started really caring like once it went from like 75 to 90 in a week, or not even a week, like a couple of days, like that's really what brings the attention. All of a sudden, once people have that fresh powder, they're ready to start spending. So I think that translates not just to rare sats, but that translates to anywhere in crypto, just in general. It's just attention. Number go up is the easiest way to grab that attention. Rare sats, I do think they are going to have their day again. Quarry actually has done a fantastic job from Magisat of creating a rare sat cabal that I happen to be a part of, and that is on Twitter. And when he first started it, Block 9 450Xs at the time were like, I want to say like 50 cents, maybe even less. It could have been like way less, but they ended up pumping up to like $2 or something like that. But the thing is, the floor is really thin on those. And I think that my thesis remains for rare sats, which is that you don't have the downside risk of an artist, rugging the project, or just a founder in general rugging, like you just don't have that risk. Like they just need to be mined, and they're always going to be mined, they just need to exist because of the historical significance. And I think that like, there's something to be said about like humans like loving provenance. I mean, like to your point, Yagobi, like that's why your family's been in business doing what they do. It's because people care about provenance. The thing is as Bitcoin continues to take over, and now you see Trump in the United States are going to have a Bitcoin reserve. Like Bitcoin is only becoming more of a household name, and who knows? Like obviously, like the dollar is probably going to still be around for a little bit longer. But like if we end up getting to a point where like everyone is really functioning on Bitcoin, on sats, which I don't think is crazy, then people are going to care about, rare sats the same way that they care about, an old penny or an old coin that, like George Washington once had, or, like coins that people find in the Middle East from like back in the biblical times, and they go for millions of dollars. Like I think that nothing fundamentally has changed there. It's just going from physical to digital. So they may not be having their time right now. It's a very different type of collector. It's not like a degen looking for like a quick rush of a hit. It's for a collector. It's a very different type of person, like someone who wants to sit down and explain to you why a Block 9 450 is so cool, right? Because of what happened with Satoshi and with Hal Finney, or, like why an uncommon is cool, or why rare sat is cool, or why the epic sat sold for 33.3 Bitcoin and what's so unique about it. Like it's just a different type of person that you're catering to, I think. But I think, long story short, I think they come back.
I agree with that. One more question, and it's I remember Casey, whenever people were talking about BRC20s, he obviously hates BRC20s because of the spam and everything. And he said, we don't need BRC20s because we already have fungible tokens. And he was talking about rare sats, rare and exotic sats. Do you ever think that those could be traded like fungible tokens? For example, like pizza sats could be like looked at as like a token supply.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because I feel like on the Ordinal show with Leonidas, we talk about that whenever we talk about rare sats. And I think I'm like the first person to fully go along with the narrative of pizza sats being like the first meme coin ever. Because there's so many of them also. The supply is massive, right? And like they're cheap enough where like they could be traded like a meme coin, and like that's like it has all the properties that like they could work. You just need, an easier way of trading them a little bit more quickly. But
and tracking them, because like the tracking part is sensitive, right? So like if you were to do that, like the layer 1 indexing of the rare sats is there, obviously, but whenever, let's say it gets popular and then a centralized exchange wants to bring it on, they're going to be nervous about that, right?
Yeah, it's interesting actually. Saturn tried creating a product like this.
Yes,
back in the day, it was kind of like an AMM for rare sats. I think they've now since pivoted to runes and kind of like doing it on the Arch network. But they did try doing it, and definitely wasn't easy. But clearly, like the market didn't want it just yet, which is why they ended up going towards runes. It'll be interesting to see like what a catalyst would be to kind of like make the whole like narrative of for something like Pizza Sats being traded like a meme coin. I don't think it's that far-fetched. I don't think we're there just yet, though.
Yeah, makes sense.
So right now you're using Magic Eden's APIs. Are you using any other APIs, and do you guys plan on being like an aggregator in the future?
I mean, I would argue we kind of are an aggregator right now. We have a ton of awesome infrastructure partners. So right now, the buys and the listings for runes go through Magic Eden. We also get a lot of data from them as well in terms of like real-time pending sales. We use Genie data for our charts, so we can show you the nice candlestick charts that we show you. We use Magisat for all of the rare sat data, so you can explore all the rare sat categories that are supported on Magisat, and you can collect those easily within the app. We use Best in Slot as our powerhouse dedicated server for essentially being our mempool inspector, because it takes a large load off of us, and they have been fantastic in terms of creating custom APIs and such for us, similarly to how Magic Eden has been super helpful. Trying to think who else we use. We use Ortiscan for a couple of things. I want to say indexing rare sat balances. I think that's the main 5 or 6 that we're using right now. But yeah, ultimately we are an aggregator, right? Because like think about what that previous flow you were doing on mobile was. It was like opening up Xverse or opening up the Magic Eden wallet, going to Luminex to mint, and then taking a look at the pending mints and what's going on there. Then maybe going to their Twitter and seeing if there even are linked socials to that specific rune. And then maybe you want to trade it on secondary. So you leave the Luminex tab and then you go into the Magic Eden tab and then you connect your wallet, you know, like you were saying earlier, just like there was a lot of steps. So essentially Sacco has literally aggregated all of those platforms into legitimately like the one rune screen that you first see when you open the app.
I love that. So yeah, that's amazing. So when I'm looking at the rare sats, I'm looking at them from the marketplace on Quarry site, or is that the marketplace on Magic Eden, or is that just both?
You're looking at that from Magisat.
Oh wow, okay.
You'll notice all of the rare sat images are also from Magisat.
Yeah.
And then it's cool because it's like an educational tool as well. If you go into the specific categories, we give you the same description Magisat does about what each type of sat is.
Do you plan on taking, like, let's say I list on Magic Eden way cheaper, do you guys plan on taking that data as well and listing them on the exchange?
Eventually, I'm sure we will. Launch wise, it was more so kind of like strategically having a lot of really awesome partnerships with friends in the space that also offer, you know, great products. Like the truth of the matter is Magisat offers more categories than Magic Eden does, and they're much quicker to add them as well. So I felt that, you know, integrating with Magisat was the better move there. Whereas, you know, 95% of rune volume right now happens on Magic Eden, so it makes a little bit more sense for runes to be Magic Eden and rare sats to be Magisat. But like, if we're talking, you know, long term down the line, once, you know, each marketplace has their, you know, fair share of volume, 100%. At the end of the day, I'm trying to give users the best experience as possible, right?
Yeah, so that's absolutely awesome. So I'm going to your site. I'm basically using the entire ecosystem in one place. That's phenomenal. It's really awesome. I didn't even realize that you guys are using Best in Slot and everything else.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. You have to, otherwise you couldn't build something like this. Like, that's the really interesting thing about this space, is that all of us have been just like heads down building in our own little niches and then coming together and collaborating. It's epic. It's epic, you know. And everyone's been here like the same amount of time. It's only been a year and a half, you know. It's just like very cool to see everyone cooking together.
Yeah, and you know, it's interesting because we haven't really had a chance to really get to know you guys that much, but y'all have been here in the space for a while, and so have we. But you know, it's awesome to see, because we have known Quarry for a long time, and we've had him on the show, and to see that the infrastructure of your app is multiple builders in the space just shows like the people that had conviction, the builders that had conviction early on are still here, and they're still the infrastructure. And I love that, because that means that we were, first of all, early, way earlier than a lot of people that are going to end up rushing in the spring of 2025. I think that's going to be the big rush over here. But it just feels good. It makes me smile that, you know, OG builders are part of these new products. So I love that.
I mean, like I was saying, you know, everyone has like just become friends at this point. It's like you go to Singapore for Token, you go to Bitcoin Amsterdam, you go to Ordinals London, you go to Lisbon for Ordinals London. It's like you hang out with all these like fellow builders around the world. You end up legitimately becoming friends.
Yep, 100%.
What's been the usage of the wallet / marketplace as of now? Are you guys seeing a lot of traffic so far? Is it, I mean, obviously you've only been alive for a month, so it's really hard to give that data, but are you guys seeing a pickup, especially recently now that runes are flying?
So I wouldn't even say that we're live for a month. Like the people that we kind of did the soft launch with, like we had the app on the App Store, but we were very quiet about that on social.
Gotcha.
It's like, if you know, in person. Like the truth is no random person is searching runes and rare sats on the App Store right now.
Only me.
True.
Right. So we were able to like kind of get away with like a soft launch in that regard. The app itself, we launched it officially on Wednesday last week. So we're not even a week in.
Wow.
We're 6 days in. And so far I've been very pleasantly surprised. I wouldn't say surprised, but like, you know, it's one thing to like be bullish on yourself and be like, oh, people are going to fucking love this. It's going to go absolutely viral. And then like, you get like nervous because you're like, oh shit, what if they hate it? What if they hate it? What if it sucks? What if it doesn't get the users? But so that's why I say I have been pleasantly surprised that the thesis is playing out so far. You know, especially with things like what you were mentioning earlier, the King of the Hill, sending out like alpha push notifications like that. Like the past 3 of them have been actual cookers. You know, you get these notifications really early, you mint them, and you know, I think what it was, the other one the other day was like Manifest AI, whatever it was called. It's up 7x now. You know, and Skynet Neural AI was the other one from a couple days ago. It's another one absolutely ripping. So I think that when you take a look at the analytics of, because we don't know who the specific users are, we just know that a user in general like reacts to a push notification. When you see how many people jump into the app after that, it's something.
Yeah, I know I did. I was like, when I first got the first one, it was like a day after, maybe that might have been even that day. I was like, what is this? You know, the King of Hill. And I was like, I started looking and I was like, oh, I'm going to mint that. And I ended up not minting it, but it was because I didn't have no Bitcoin in that wallet yet. But now I'm definitely trying to make sure I have something over there. So if I do get that, you're taking a little shot. You know, I'm not going to go all in, but I'm definitely going to take some more shots now, especially getting the notification, you know, I'm out with the family or something. I can real quick knock that out, which is phenomenal. And great job. But that was actually, I mean, there's no app doing that. I mean, I'm not getting no notifications from Magic Eden. I'm not getting notifications from my Unisat wallet, right? So
yeah, and you can mint right from the app.
Yeah, the nice thing is you just tap right on collect. So that's the thing. Apple doesn't like the word mint. The app was actually incredibly hard to get accepted into the App Store. It got rejected like 37 times. I'm not joking. And ended up like I had to have a couple phone calls with App Store review because when they think about minting, they think about NFTs. And it was very difficult to get them to understand what's going on under the hood here, where you guys are okay sending Bitcoin from one wallet to another. You're totally okay with wallets. This is the same exact thing. The difference here is that we're just showing you different metadata about these sats. Like you are still sending Bitcoin. Like when you're buying a rare sat, you're just moving UTXOs like sats for sats. Like you're literally sending Bitcoin back and forth. Like there's nothing different there. So they don't like the word mint. They associate it with NFTs. And if you associate mint with NFTs, then you have to do in-app purchases and it's a whole thing. Hit the collect button. And when you hit the collect button, then you are able to just type in how many things you want to mint. We actually just rolled out this morning that you can edit your fees that you're paying for mint. So if you see that the mint pool is starting to really cook and you want to speed that up, you can do that. And we also just rolled out support for the verification badges that Magic Eden just rolled out as well. So now if you're ever searching for runes or taking a look at the top traded, you'll now see verified badges that totally align with what's verified on Magic Eden.
Yeah, that's awesome. Are you guys also using the mempool protection? So when I buy through you guys, it's still protected or no?
Not yet. We're working on it. And by we're working on it, I mean I'm waiting for them to give me an API that allows me to do it. So they're the ones actually working on it, but we're waiting on it.
Yeah.
Awesome. I guess my next question would be like, what's the future for you guys? Do you have any plans on dropping maybe a rune or anything like that in the future?
Yeah. So if you notice in the app, there is a leaderboard. You do earn points for any transactions that you do in the app. So if you do any minting, any buying, any listing, you will be earning points for those. You also earn points for referring people to the app as well, which you can see on the leaderboard. You can copy our referral code or share a referral code. Also, we have community multipliers for the points that you get. So for instance, if you're importing a wallet that you have that, you have your ordinals in, which you can do when you start up the app, we'll detect what ordinals there are. So for instance, if you own a pizza artifact, you get a 50% bonus multiplier. If you own the Runevo pre-rune ordinals, you get a 10%, and those actually stack. So if you own multiple Runevos, those will stack for referral points. And then we're giving rewards to people like, Pizza Ninjas, No Monkeys, Puppets, OMBs, any of the blue chip kind of projects. But soon we'll be rolling out to rune communities as well. So like really legit, just like very active rune communities that, if you hold, for instance, Cypher Genesis, or if you hold Pups, or if you hold Gizmo, or, something like that, or Gently Fried Chicken, you'll be able to get multipliers.
So just by having my assets in your wallet, I'm earning, and that's phenomenal. That's incredible.
What happens to those points one day?
We'll find out.
Yeah.
That's how we.
That's kind of what we get a lot.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Any more questions, Jacoby, or?
No, I mean, I feel really good about the app. I feel confident that you guys are gonna, kill it with this. I'm gonna use it a lot. I can tell already, and so I'm excited to see what you guys do next. And I'm gonna be there whenever sats come back, and then I'll probably be bugging you all the time of, what do you think's gonna do best next with the rare sats and stuff like that. So.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, and Quarry will probably echo this. The Block 9 450s, I think, are the ones. I think those are the ones. Now, I will say I do have a bag of them, and I know Quarry does too. But the reason why we have the bag though is just they are the easiest sats to explain to people. Like an uncommon sat is super difficult to explain to someone. Like you have to explain what blocks are, what mining is, and all this shit that like a normie's just not going to understand. Whereas if I say, would you like to own a sat from the first ever Bitcoin transaction? It's way easier to it's way more palatable.
Interesting. I'm definitely going to take that bit of information and store it in the back of my head there.
We just got to figure out a way to lock these rare sats into a block lock technology that Bitcoin offers, and give a rune on the other side, right? So, and then you're able to, you can stake it as well, but maybe 1-to-1 to a rune. I think if we can figure that out,
are you trying to create a rare sat strategic reserve?
I mean, I'm trying to trade them as runes, right? I'm trying to trade my pizza sats as the same way we trade runes. So I think that is something that somebody out there needs to build, which is going to be.
Oh man, I actually love that idea, dude. This is I don't love your ideas, but that was a good one.
Love it. I love it.
All right, man. It's been absolutely amazing. We can't wait. We'd love to have you on again. It's been an amazing conversation, but kind of want to give you the stage, talk to our audience. The time is yours.
Yeah, honestly, it's just the only thing I have to say to the space is the space has just got to keep doing what the space is doing. Everyone's cooking. The community is just communitying. It's an epic time to be in ordinals. It's an epic time to be in crypto. If you're a fellow founder in this space and we haven't connected yet, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter or Telegram. It's at NFT Supply. Obviously, as you can tell, love working with other builders in the space, as long as, it makes sense to go to our users. And even if it doesn't make sense, it's just great to connect with other builders. And yeah, the alpha is, if you want alpha, you download Satgo and you'll always know what's minting in the mempool. And if you want those points, I would definitely check out Pizza Artifacts and Runevo on Magic Eden. So that is that's what I'll leave with everyone right now. and hopefully everyone starts printing on runes, or as we're now calling them, Bitcoin meme coins.
Let's go. That's awesome.
Thank you so much, man. We'll see you soon.
All right, man. We'll talk soon. See ya.
Absolutely amazing. That was a fun conversation. I do love that app, and I'm definitely going to keep using it, and definitely recommend you guys going out there and downloading it. Right? There it goes. It's fun. It's like I said, the notifications changed it for me. Like I downloaded it, didn't touch it, got notifications, couldn't stop looking at it, and now I'm like waiting, checking my phone, see if I got notifications, see what is minting. Phenomenal. Go check these guys out. I have all their links and everything in the show notes below, so you guys have easy access to checking them out.
Yeah, now I'm a little bit worried because everybody's going to know that they can have an edge with this, but maybe we don't put this out for a couple months and then mint all the the good rules. No, I'm just kidding. But our goal is to educate you guys. So we hope that you took at least something from the episode today and, you know, learn from it. So we thank you guys for watching us. And if you do have some extra time, if you wouldn't mind checking out our partners, Emblem Vault is the interoperability tool for Bitcoin Layer 1 assets. They're going to be able to utilize their jump action to bring your ordinal to Merlin chain, to Ethereum, to Solana from Bitcoin in one gas transaction. So make sure you learn more at emblem.vision. And then BetBTC is the predictions market for the Bitcoin ecosystem. They utilize ICP and Bitcoin technology. You can deposit Bitcoin directly from your Xsource wallet, and then 6 blocks later, you can start making bets on different markets. They have tons of Bitcoin markets over there, and pretty soon you'll be able to create your own markets, and you can earn 1% of the total volume. So stay tuned for that. And then BitPerp, guys, they are the perps and leverage DEX of the Bitcoin ecosystem. Finished up their paper trading competition on Monday, but they have another one coming up in about 2 weeks once they launch on Botonix. So make sure you're paying attention there. They will be available on Botonix, BitLayer, B2, and CoreDAO. Ordinal Hive is an aggregator marketplace for ordinals on Layer 1 and Layer 2. You can visit them at beta.ordinalhive.io. If you are not able to access that site, reach out to their Discord and give them your address to be whitelisted. They are still in the beta process right now, but should be mainnet very, very soon. You're going to find the cheapest ordinals on Ordinal Hive. As I said, you know, they do aggregate them. And then Fluid Tokens. We just talked about staking, and they are the innovators for Bitcoin Layer 1 for staking, guys. Shizzy and I staked our Billy Cats. We were able to earn $1 billion cat token, which is going nuts right now. It reached $151 million market cap. But you can stake Dog Go to the Moon, and I think you got about 10 more days for that. So make sure you visit them and visit their Bitcoin staking vaults. If you are a founder of an ordinal collection or runes, and you want your holders to be able to benefit by staking whatever asset that you have for them to earn Bitcoin or maybe another rune, reach out to Raul, which is the CTO of Fluid Tokens. If you can't get to them, just reach out to us. We'll hook you up. So check out Fluid Tokens. And then Foxy, guys, they are building in the TAP ecosystem on Bitcoin Layer 1. So they have the Foxy Bitverse and the Clan Wars, the first-person shooter game. Very, very fun. We got to test it out. We might have a live stream on Saturday morning. We will let you guys know. But they also offer the Bitminer, which is a DMT asset. You can mine different assets. They did the Cosmic USDT Solana and TAP token with the most rare Cosmic Bitminer. Next up is the Ultra Mythic, the second most rare one. I believe there's going to be a rune and possibly the Spooky token from Ghosty. So make sure you're paying attention, guys. You don't want to miss out if you're holding one of those. And if you don't have one, you can go mint one on Mscribe today. And then finally, Merlin Chain. If you are a builder, Merlin Chain is the #1 scaling solution for Bitcoin native L1 assets and protocols. So if you're a builder and you want your protocol to be a bit more flexible, you're building on Layer 1, but you want that Layer 2 experience for your users as well, you can reach out to Merlin Chain. You can apply for a grant and possibly get it like Emblem Vault and Ordinal Hive did, right? So they have great builder support there. And for users, if you want to trade to get Dog Go to the Moon on something you know, familiar, if you're from the EVM side, like Uniswap, they have Merlin Swap where you can do that. You can also swap your bitmaps into bitmap token using Unicross, which is another application there. So we thank all of you guys for watching us. Without you guys, you know, we wouldn't be able to do what we love to do. So thank you so much for checking out our partners.
Yep. Amazing job. If you guys wouldn't mind checking out OrdinalRevolution.com, we have some of the best articles dating all the way back to last year. If you know someone just entering the space, send them our website. We really feel like it can help them get started and code up to exactly where we're at today. And if you guys are going to Bitcoin 2025 Las Vegas, we have tickets. Do not wait for next year. You guys can get your tickets right here. As we get closer to May, the tickets will go up in price. Get them this year. I promise you it'll be a lot cheaper. If you guys are need a VPN for whatever reason, it's privacy, it's legal. Your country does not stop you from these websites. These websites stop you. So you guys can get a NordVPN today, and you guys can use it for any reason at all. I like to use it for privacy. I don't want these sites knowing my IP address, which eventually could lead to my address. We're in Bitcoin. We don't want people knowing our addresses. Check out our VPN right there. And guys, we're live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, all week, guys, and that's 4 p.m. UTC. Check us out, and appreciate you guys. And until tomorrow,
Peace.
Ordinal Revolution. Let's go.